Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Horror Show. My name is Nick.
I'm Rich.
And today, we are going to talk about what we've been up to.
Yeah.
What have we been drinking this week?
We're drinking a beer from imported, some kind of Mexican beer or something. It's Immortal Beloved.
Yeah.
It's a Hefeweizen. Both
Yep.
of these things are on the label. There's no brewery.
The Day of the Dead beer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is a brewery, I think.
Cervezas de los Muertos.
It says that?
Says it on right down there?
Yeah. It's a product of Mexico, so we might get a real bad case of the poops. It's brewed and bottled by Cerveceria Mexicana,
Okay.
which is a brewery and a disease that you can get in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yo soy
we
beer.
were putting our hashtags for our Instagram on this beer, and cervical cancer came up, and we thought, you know what, we probably should put a cervical cancer hashtag on our beer.
But we did, right?
No.
Right, you didn't do it?
I didn't
You
do
didn't do it. You didn't have the guts. Alright, so,
It's got some Day of the Dead, a bride and a groom on here. It's got some flowers.
so like, Corona, I don't think is actually bottled in Mexico. It's
No.
bottled in, like, Pennsylvania or something.
This is bottled.
This is straight from Mexico. So is this Hellboy. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's give it a shot.
I know.
The Day of the Dead beer. I'm Mexican now.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's nothing.
Nothing special.
We should have painted our faces like the Sugar Skull.
And then worship Superman. Alright, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's whatever.
Yeah, there's a reason they're on Instagram. They only have a hashtag.
Yeah. Out of scale of first world to third world. Alright, let's just move past that one.
Yeah.
Alright, so what have you been up to this week?
I haven't been up to a whole lot. I've been up to one thing to talk about. I
Okay.
finally watched Pee-wee's Big Holiday on Netflix.
I've been meaning to watch
The
this.
Netflix exclusive return of Pee-wee Herman, Pee-wee's Big Holiday.
So, was it a grand return?
It's fun.
Alright.
No, okay.
Tell us how you really feel.
So, Paul Rubens still has it. Like, he's still able to capture being Pee-wee in that same, like, it feels like he hasn't skipped a beat.
Mm-hmm.
The movie, though...
He did skip a couple beats, that's why he wasn't as famous anymore. Right.
But I mean, he seamlessly has kind of is into the role. Like, he still looks really good. It feels like Pee-wee. I can't remember the actor's name, and I'm mad that I don't remember the guy who's in it. He's from
Morgan Freeman.
No, he's from True Blood.
Danny Trejo.
John Morganello Monagalano.
Oh, he's in it? Joe Manganiello. The
Yeah.
guy from Magic Mike.
Yes, he's in it. And the setup is, it's like Pee-wee is never left his hometown of Fairville, which doesn't make any. First of all, doesn't make any sense.
Because he has.
'Cause he
saw a whole
has,
movie
and
about it that was probably better.
Yeah. So not to be the guy who's like, well, in the first movie he left his town, and now there's. But putting that aside, the idea is he's never left his town, and then Joe Melangino comes in, and
I think that's the name of the brewery, wasn't it?
and he's like, oh, he instantly, like, him and Pee-wee hit it off. Like, he comes in, he's like this cool guy, and there's like a Fonzie thing with like the jukebox. Pee-wee's working at like a little diner, and he's like, "Whoa, man, he's so cool!" And like they instantly just like click, and they go hang out in like his or his like home in his backyard and all this stuff. And he's like, "Pee-wee, I want you to come to my birthday party in New York." So he's got 5 days to get from Fairville, which I think is somewhere towards the West Coast. They don't specifically
It's
say.
right next to Springfield.
Yeah, it's by Springfield, to New York City. So the whole movie is him going to New York City. It's fine. It's very by the book of like these kind of movies where it's like, oh, we're gonna go on a road trip, and oh, here's this little quirky thing, and it just never feels like it pushes any of the other characters far enough. Like they're there, and like okay, they meet like this guy living out in the forest, and he goes to this Amish place, and this farmer who's like has like 8 or 9 daughters, and got to marry him off to. It just never feels like any of that gets pushed quite far enough. I mean, like, the stuff once he gets to New York is kind of funny. Like, I feel like it would have been a better thing if it was almost like an Elf type movie where they're like,
sure.
like, there's the fish out of water, like, oh,
Right.
Pee-wee's in New York, and oh my god, like, what's all this stuff, and
But
dealing
not
with...
really. Doesn't do that.
I mean, there's a little bit of that, but that doesn't happen till, like, the last 15 minutes.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
The last really high-profile Netflix movie,
Mm-hmm.
which this is, Netflix original movie, was a movie that we reviewed here on this show, The Ridiculous Six. Was it better than that?
Yes, it was far better than The Ridiculous Six.
Well,
It was
that's good.
miles better. This is Oscar-worthy compared to The Ridiculous Six.
Mm.
But I mean, it's fun. Like, it's really gonna please Pee Wee Herman fans. Like, he's, like I said, like, Paul Rubens still has it. You know, I found myself laughing enough, but there were more like chuckles, like, huh, like that's just. But it was never like laugh out loud funny. There were never those moments, like those quotable moments from like Big Adventure, you know, of like Large Marge or,
Right.
you know, Malone or Dottie, Rebel.
Yeah, really, I mean, just Big. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's nice to have him back.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth your time.
What do you
It's
think's
worth
gonna
checking
come
out.
from this? Anything? You gonna
I
do
don't
another
know.
one? They gonna? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm excited to watch it.
Mhm.
I just haven't had time. Been so
Yeah.
busy on the weekends, but hopefully I'll watch it soon. I'll report on what I thought of it.
Yeah.
I was a huge Pee Wee fan as a kid, as a lot of people around our ages were. But he's definitely been out of the limelight.
Yeah.
Maybe kids will find this movie. Would this be okay for kids?
Yeah, like it's totally
Just Pee Wee.
kid. Yeah, it's Pee Wee, but like not. It's Pee Wee without as much of the adult stuff layered in.
Okay.
Like there's definitely some things in it, but like nothing inappropriate, really.
Okay. Cool. So, have you been up to anything else? That's really it.
That's it. It's been slow.
It's been a slow week
Slow.
for me too.
Yeah?
Can't really say that I've been up to all that much new to report. I'm still played some more Wolfenstein. It's still good.
Still good.
One thing that I did spend a lot of the weekend doing
Okay.
was I watched like 8 episodes of Supergirl.
Hmm.
I know I talked about it after the first episode. I said it was alright. It was fine. But I really wanted to, last week, for those who don't, well, when you're watching this 2 weeks ago, Supergirl had a big crossover with The Flash, and I love The Flash show, and I really wanted to catch up to that. So I was like, I mean, there's been like 18 episodes or
Yeah.
something already, and I was like, oh shit. So I watched up to episode, I think I'm on like 14 or something.
Okay.
It's good. It really
Yeah.
it really hit a stride
Okay.
along there. There's been some really cool fight scenes. The characters are good. Everything has come a long way from where that show started, and I don't know how many people were watching. I think people who like these comic book TV shows, I think the Flash crossover did get a lot of people interested in it again. And now I'm kind of feeling like, why the hell wasn't I watching this all along?
No, this one's on CBS.
It's on
right?
CBS.
Okay.
And you know, they've been talking about potential crossovers with further crossovers with the CW shows. So it's all, I guess, one universe. I don't know how it works in the crossover, but I recommend people check out Supergirl.
Cool.
And that's really all I've been up
Yeah.
to. There's one other thing though.
Oh, okay.
Last week, I think in our What We've Been Up To segment, we talked about Miitomo.
We did talk about Miitomo.
And I said I would be interested to come back a week
That's
later
true.
and say what our Miitomo thoughts, because we had literally basically just started playing
Yeah.
the day that we recorded that. So it's been some time. It is already rapidly dwindling in my interest.
Really?
Like heavily. Like I don't know, what about you? I don't see the point in it.
I'm still playing it.
Playing it or just like looking at it?
No, I'm still there playing it. It's more of an app. It's not really a game.
Right.
But yeah, like I spent some time today, like on my lunch break, and I was like, oh, let me answer some questions. Oh, let me get some coins, and let me do this, and I'm trying to put more time in it. And you know, we talked kind of before, like, oh, it's not. What's the hook? What's the bringing you back? And one thing that's bringing me back daily is it does some of those like free to play games do. It's like, oh, if you were so many days in a row, you get a thing. So
Right.
every day in a row, you get an extra thing, which isn't but it's still a motivation for me to at least open the app and jump on.
Right. I agree. The second day, so the second day that we got it, first thing in the morning I opened it up. Maybe a few more times throughout the day I answered some questions, visited some friends.
Yeah.
And then like I've slowly noticed that like each day it's been kind of like further into the day that I even think about opening it. And like today, it was literally like 5 minutes before you came over. I was like, oh yeah, Miitomo, the daily bonus. And I opened it.
See,
and, like I just feel like that trend is going to continue.
Well, I think they're you know, I was listening to last week's NBC, the IGN's Nintendo podcast.
I haven't heard that one yet.
And they were talking kind of about Miitomo and stuff, and I feel, you know, like they're going to keep updating this. Like they're already like, you know, they already have like a daily thing in the shop. Like every day they have new outfits in the shop. So I check out
which
those.
I haven't liked.
Nothing.
There's a dinosaur one today.
Yeah. But then they've also started adding stuff to just the normal clothing lines.
Oh, okay.
So like I went like, oh, there's a new hat. That hat's kind of cool. Maybe I'll get that. Or, oh, there's this new shirt.
I just don't understand why there's not more Nintendo themed stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting, like back in the day on Street Pass, where you could unlock.
I could see them starting, you know, once they kind of let it go and like, oh, you know, hey everyone, we're gonna have a Zelda themed drop or something.
Right off the bat, right when you started the game, day one, or maybe you can still get it if you don't, you got a Mario hat.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. It's gonna be a lot of that stuff. Nope. It's like,
and that's been it.
Just flower dresses and stuff like.
I got a sandwich shirt.
For those who don't know what Miitomo is, we still don't totally know either.
It's Nintendo's social networking app.
It's a Facebook killer.
If you had the Wii and you made your little Miis on that, it's basically you having a Mii and interacting with friends and that kind of thing.
Except for only a handful of your friends have gotten it, and so it's just the same people. I think I have 8 friends now.
I think I have a little bit more. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I'm still using it. I'm still getting on it every day.
I'm ready.
I like the photo, the Me photo thing. That's kind of fun. I put some flame stickers on a flame background and had my Me like burning. You can check that out on my Instagram.
Yep.
Which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yes. I don't know. Nintendo, when like I heard Nintendo was going to get into the mobile market, this is just when your head is like, oh my god, all the things you can do. This is not.
But see, but to me, this is, and I've kind of said this from the get-go, is this feels like they're laying the groundwork for NX, for creating a single ecosystem for NX, because you're earning points from my Nintendo account as you're playing this, which will transfer over into my Nintendo stuff for NX for their future free stuff.
Of.
I mean, but that's their new reward
The new thing
system.
is that they expire after 6 months. The NX won't be out in 6 months, so anything that you do now, they won't be there anymore.
But I mean, it's still laying that foundation of happiness, and I imagine all of this stuff is going to transfer over to your NX ecosystem.
To me, I feel like, all right, again, this is not what I expected when I heard that Nintendo was going to get into the mobile. But additionally, it was kind of like, all right, this is just kind of another in this like long now line of Nintendo not impressing me.
Okay.
And I feel like I can't remember another stretch of time in my life where Nintendo seemed to consistently be kind of not impressing me. And I don't know what that's all about.
Okay.
Like I feel like a lot of their recent games were not impressive. And I don't remember this like, and this is just another thing where it's just kind of like, this is not the creativity and the spark and the hook that I expect from Nintendo. And I don't know what they need to do to turn it around. It's been a while. Like, can you remember, like, some of the games have been fun, but, like, can you remember such a long stretch of, like, Nintendo games coming out and getting, like, 6s and 5s and 4s?
Yeah.
And, like, but what is going on over there? And this is how they're going to, like, lead into, like, should we even be like certain that the NX is, like I don't even know if I'm certain the NX is going to be awesome.
But see, here's the thing about
that.
I've
never doubted Nintendo.
Is they've talked about the NX for the last. It came up before E3 last year. Right. So more than a year, we've known that there was the NX. They brought that up, specifically reminding everyone we're still making another console. Why put all of their resources into, they might as well go, well, wait a second, we have this Mario game, well, we could put it on the Wii U, but let's save it, polish it up some more, and then we'll put it as a launch game for the NX.
Right.
Like, so you're missing out on those things, and I feel like they're holding back for NX, because why put it on a system that's already, like, almost sunk, like, it's almost done?
No, yeah, I agree with that. Like, all right, so a lot of the good, but like, all right, so I hope that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, the only big thing left, and I'm excited for the J-pop Fire Emblem Sharp FE, whatever the cross thing is. I'm gonna get Star Fox. Zelda is still kind of the big last thing. So I imagine, again, it'll probably be a Wii U NX
It'll be on
thing. It'll probably be on both.
Right.
But
I mean, let's just hope. Let's just hope. To me, this is just, like I said, another, like, not impressive Nintendo offering in the past, like, 12 months.
Okay.
That's
fair. That's fair.
But, maybe they'll do some updates to this and they'll add some more interesting stuff. And
I'm going to keep using it. I'm going to keep taking photos.
yeah, I mean, I'll still log in, but it's just kind of like, I already feel like even the other people besides you that I was friends with on there, like, seem to have disappeared and stuff already.
Really? So, like, I'm seeing it kind of like the divide happening. Like, I'm seeing, like, 3 or 4 people who are still, like, I'm still seeing questions and stuff, but, like, you, Dana, have just sort of, like, dropped down. So you're not seeing it's quickly happening, but you're still seeing the people who are doing it more often, and then like, oh, well, I haven't seen anything from Nick in a long time. Or, I'm over at Dana's place, and she hasn't saying a word.
Yeah, and until it, like, you like, just picture, like, Facebook. Imagine if you only had 10 Facebook friends.
Yeah.
And you were just seeing the same person post over and over and over. Like, at a certain point, it's like, all right, I don't care what your favorite food to eat is anymore. Like, it's...
Well, I think the big thing is if and when, bless you, if and when you can do things to that house, like upgrade your room. Like, I feel like that's something that has to be coming. That would be such a huge thing. It's like, okay, well, now you can do this and that, and oh, you have new furniture and paintings, and oh, look, you can put your Me photos on your wall in your house.
That'll be fun, but, like, that's not new. Like, there have been Nintendo games that have done that forever. There's The Sims, but, like, you can think about, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and the biggest comparison I've been hearing to this is kind of like Tomodachi Life, which I had never actually played. But from what I've seen of that game and what I've played of this, like, okay, like, I see that comparison, and I feel like this is them sort of, like, just the way Nintendo does it. They're just slowly, okay, we're gonna put this out. We're gonna test the waters and see if the fan feedback. And oh, okay, they're really taking to this part and they're asking for this thing or they're doing this. So let's kind of they can go anywhere with this app. Like, it's very simple, and they could do more decorating stuff, or they could do more photo stuff, or they could do all kinds of different things depending upon what, like, fan reaction that they're seeing.
Yes, definitely. We'll see. It'll be an evolving thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to update people on our status because it was so fresh on that. So,
cool.
There you go. Have you been playing Miitomo? Let us know.
Yeah.
You can tweet at us.
You can tweet at us. And if you follow us saying you're playing Miitomo, we can follow you back, and then we can be friends on Miitomo.
Right. Yeah.
I'm on Twitter at Rich Belson.
I'm at Stonks.
The channel's on Twitter at OABeer_official, and you can email us at overbeerofficial@gmail.com. We're on Facebook as well at facebook.com/overbeer, and we're on Instagram now too. over_a_beer. We post all kinds of updates, fun things. Mondays are now movies nobody's watching Monday. So far we've done Clock Stoppers, Nothing But Trouble, and today was
Catch and Release.
Catch and Release, which I forgot this movie existed.
That's the point.
That's the point. We're also doing Forgotten Movies Friday, so movies that we feel, kind of fell by the wayside that should have gotten more appeal than they did. My first choice was Hearts in Atlantis. I'm a big fan of that.
This week I'm going to do The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Everyone's forgotten.
Nobody
talks about that.
Forgotten classic.
But yeah, so that's over_a_beer. We're on YouTube as well. Don't have a URL yet, so again, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But that's going to wrap things up for today's segment. So until next time, drink up, and if it's your jam, then butter us up.